Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I'm going to do a quick reading for us. Quick reading for us. I'm going to try to be quick. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is gearing up for a massive windfall. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We are gearing up for a massive windfall. Okay. All of this fell out, so we're going to claim that. We're going to shuffle a little bit more, take a couple more. Oh, I caught it with my armpit. Oh no, that's my elbow pit. Is that a thing? Elbow pits? Inner elbow? I don't know. Is that an I think that's technically an elbow pit. Yeah? Yeah, I think so. Let's pull from this deck as well. And I'm trying to decide what final deck we'll be pulling from. I think I'm going to pull from that. Give me 1 second. I got to pull it out. Oops. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know if you guys know. I have oh, you need deodorant for your elbow pit. Oh my. Oh my. That's definitely a situation there in that. That is a situation. Is there something that needs to be addressed with the elbow pit? Have you tried magnesium oil? Spray some in there. It will help. It will help. Not with perspiration, but with deodorant struggles. You know what I'm saying? I want to look out for you. I do. I'm serious. I want to look out for you. Sometimes the inside of my knees or the backs of my knees will start to sweat. It's odd. It's the oddest thing I've ever experienced. It's odd. Those are peonies. I love them. I love them. Yes. Yes, Hannah, those are peonies. No, cologne is a contraband because it is an endocrine disruptor, unless it's an actual true perfume, because that's an oil rather than merely a fragrance. But let's continue with the reading. Gearing up for a massive windfall. There's some stuff happening here, guys. There's some stuff happening. Oh, I'm claiming it. A certain card came out. I'm claiming this. I'm claiming this. I love peonies. Let's this one. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna just we leave it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we're just gonna No, I missed it. I missed the whole dang flower. Hold on, guys. I'm feeling creative and girly, and so we're just gonna clip this mofo right here. We're just gonna Oh, because I broke all of the there's no more teeth. That's okay, because you're a girl. I got another one. So it's gonna stay right there, right? Right there. I don't no. You're gonna get thirsty. No, baby. No. We're just gonna leave it in the vase, okay? Because this baby's gonna get thirsty. It's gonna get thirsty. We'll just leave it alone. You guys don't distract me. Don't distract me today, okay? All right. Seriously, I'm claiming this reading because yep, everything I want to see. Everything I want to see. Everything I want to see. So, there's most of us who We haven't set the intentions of what we need to set, and that's okay. That's okay. Um, but we're kind of just needing to recognize that we haven't set the intentions. Why? Well, maybe because it's time for you to recognize that even if you don't set intentions, um, there are things that are slated for you. There are things that are intended for you to enjoy, for you to receive, enjoy, and benefit from. And I think whatever this is, it's definitely that. Now, as part of this process of gearing up for a massive windfall, there are probably certain things that you don't want to continue, but no, it's going to continue, and you're going to just need to let that be what it is. Okay, whatever it is, just let that um, be what it is, and whatever your soul has planned for you, it's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing. It's not a trick. It's not the rug about to be pulled out from underneath you out of nowhere. Um, it's a very good thing. Okay. It's a very, very, very good thing. Allow your heart to open fully and let this in. Only from your soul will this come. And that's what I heard. Only from your soul will this come. So there's something that's being slated. It's coming from soul. It's something that maybe you didn't initiate. Maybe you didn't set an intention. You've been busy struggling through something. Um, I mean, it seems like this is soul letting you know this is going to seemingly come out of nowhere, right? This is going to seemingly come out of nowhere, and it's going to be something that um, you just really, really benefit from. But here's the thing: in order for this to come to fruition, you have to stay within the appropriate mindset. You cannot allow yourself to be dragged back to um, wherever malignant things are trying to drag your mind into. Ethos ethos, your mindset has to stay in a space of present intentions, present um, co-creation, right? You have to be present in the now. You can't be allowing yourself to be hyperfixated in past events. You can't allow yourself to be hyperfixated on future events that you cannot control, right? The way you control the future, if you're trying to, is by being very present in the now, and every decision being carefully considered. And what are you considering? What needs to be considered is whether this present consideration is supportive of a future endeavor, right? That's what you have to consider. So, this is something that can and will happen for people who are willing to allow this to come to them. This is not something you have to chase. This is something that, in some ways, it's been chasing you. In some ways, and yeah, are you here? Are you still here right now? Because if you're here right now, could you just like, hello? Ring, 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 hello? um, could you please ask Marlene to go to your house because she's suddenly in my space and I don't want her there. Okay, so this is something you have to stay in the current mindset of overcoming whatever you think, you feel you are trying to overcome, trying to survive. This is not something you have to chase. This is something that's been chasing you. Marlene been chasing me like You like my ham hocks? Is that what it is, Miss Marlene? Um, are you here because my ham hocks? No, seriously, leave me alone. Um, so this is not something that you need to chase, as I was saying. This is something that's been trying to be brought to fruition for you. It has to do with prosperity. See, this card pops up, and it's like you don't just magically harvest wheat. I'm trying to be civil. That's what I'm trying to do. You don't just magically harvest wheat. You have to go through the process, tend the field. You have to plow the field. You have to plant the seeds. You have to tend to it, cultivate everything. And then when the timing is right, when what you have put so much energy and effort into is ripe, um, then you can harvest it. I will ask Frey to pick it up. Not even joking. I will ask Frey to pick it up. And yeah, that's a fair deal to me. That is a fair deal. I will FaceTime you as I eat whatever you're asking to have picked up. You know, I would totally ask one of my besties to call her over there, but I know they already, I could already hear them like, hell no. Hell no. Mm. Oh, you're feeling unwanted, Miss Marlene? Hmm. No, I'm actually not thirsty. I'm just trying to mind my own business and stay in my own lane. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Um, Okay, so the prosperity, right? And for those who might be listening to the audio portion of this reading um, via my podcast, Marlene is some disembodied voice, a stranger to me. Some random disembodied voice that has decided to be a thorn in the hemorrhoid. Since what year was that? 2021, I think. Randomly shows up in my office as I'm doing a public reading and requests for me to sing happy birthday in a very soulful manner. Didn't know happy birthday can be sung like that, but that's who Marlene is, in case y'all are wondering, listening to the podcast. If you could see my face as I say this, it might be worth your while to pause the podcast and head on over to my YouTube channel, which is M Evolving. Look for this video and observe the look of my face, because I mean, it's something that can't be conveyed with words. Okay. So, getting back to the actual topic, leaving the interloper over there interloping on their own. Um, the prosperity card came out. You've already planted the seeds. You've plowed the field. You've done everything you need to do. You've cried the tears that watered the fields. And we're getting to a point where things are coming to manifestation. Okay. Things that you have worked so hard for. I hear the word toil. You've toiled, and it seems like very soon, which the next card is spring, very soon this is going to come to fruition. Oh, Miss Marlene. Um, I'm going to literally ignore you from the rest of this, from this point forward through the rest of the live stream. I don't know if you realize, Miss Marlene, this is actually work for me. I'm at work right now. This is not like a social hour. I'm at work, ma'am. I am at work. I beg your finest, refined, top shelf A1 Yola pardon. Because don't you have children of your own that you could kind of just, you know, go talk to? Because I last I remember, you have children, right? Children of your own that probably need you, that I don't need to be involved with. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hold on, guys. Yeah. I don't know if you realize this, Miss Marlene. I'm married. Leave me alone. Okay, protection in reverse. You don't need to be protected from whatever this is. You're not entering this reading. You don't need to be protected from your fears, from this experience. This is something that's going to unfold for you guys in whatever way it needs to unfold. You just need to make sure you're fully present. You're right there. You are right there, right? Springtime is when this is going to come to fruition for quite a few of you. You are right there. And you need to just allow yourself to let go of the fear, let go of whatever you're clinging on to with like this death grip. The eagle death grip. You know what I'm saying? You need to let that go, and you need to forget about all of these things that have caused you to question your journey, your decisions. Every single decision you've made has led you to the point that you're at right now. And for many of you, most of you, is a feeling that I'm being given. For most of you, that point right there, you're at the cusp of receiving a massive windfall. Let me go ahead and give you the definition of windfall, because we need to be very clear as to what this means. Okay. Okay. Sorry for that sound. Okay. An apple or other fruit blown down from a tree or bush by the wind. Okay, listen, we're not talking someone's apple, someone's fruit has been blown down from a tree. Okay. That is Miss Marlene trying to enter the conversation. Um okay. So I had to expand the definition to see a piece of unexpected good fortune, typically one that involves receiving a large amount of money. Okay. Synonyms: bonanza, jackpot, pennies from heaven, unexpected gain, peace or stroke of good luck, a godsend, manna from heaven. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making up my own songs. Yeah. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. You guys are about to have a windfall. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be good. This is going to be good. Maybe one of your ideas is going to pan out. And I don't know. Maybe you're going to sell something. Maybe you're going to monetize one of your gifts. Maybe something you do, maybe you're a content creator, and something you're doing, something you're creating is going to go viral AF, right? Maybe I got out my spiritual microphone, which is a Lemurian massive a massive Lemurian crystal. Hello, is this thing on? Hello, 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 soul. Hello, soul. Okay, so soul, I'd like to ask a question. Is Marlene here because this conversation that I'm having with her, where I keep telling her to go away, is this what's going to go viral? Oh, I just made Michael laugh. Lovely. It's lovely. Mm. I don't know, but I'm a Capricorn moon and a Capricorn Venus. When I say I couldn't care less, I pretty much mean every syllable of every single word. Every syllable. Yeah, no, I actually that window is closed. It's deadbolted shut, and as a matter of fact, the whole house has burned down. The whole house has burned down. So, carrying forward, guardian. Guardian. Mindy, don't send her no hugs. That's encouragement. Marlene, Mindy would like you to go to her house. I am being very mean because she's trying so hard to inspire me to meddle in people's lives that I don't need to meddle in. Um, it is very clear to me that I am not welcome in certain lives. And I'm actually very much okay with that. Like, feelings are not hurt. I'm very deeply accepting that. I'm very genuinely deeply accepting that. And yeah. Right? So guardian. Your path to receive whatever abundance is set aside for you by soul, um, it's being guarded. It's being safe vouched. Let's see what that means. I know what it means, but let's see what define safe vouch. Because let's see. Oh, vouchsafe. Sorry. Because I don't know if you guys know, but I am literally dyslexic. Like, literal. Give or grant something to someone in a gracious or condescending manner. Okay. I need to stop being condescending to Marlene. I'm not sure if I could accommodate that request today. The next meaning is reveal or disclose information. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Ooh. Some common synonyms of vouchsafe are accord, award, concede, and grant. To give as a favor or a right. It implies granting something as a courtesy or an act of gracious condescension. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't have enough grace to do that today. My hair looks super healthy right now. It's looking healthy. Love it. Okay, your commitment is being tested, right? Your commitment is being tested. You have to make sure you stay the course. Be focused on whatever it is you're trying to heal through. Whatever it is you're trying to kind of go through the process for, you have some type of vision in your mind about what you're trying to accomplish. Keep on with it. Keep on with it because you're gearing up for a massive windfall. You don't want to miss this opportunity. You don't. You don't want to miss this opportunity. Tears don't work on me. Believe in the impossible. Believe in the impossible. There are things that maybe a part of you feels as though um a part of you feels as though there's no way these good things could happen for you. There's no way for specific types of healing to occur. Um, there's no way for whatever you think there's no way for that. It's an impossibility. When it comes to divinity, nothing is impossible. Nothing is off limits. Nothing is impossible. Everything is más posible. Everything is very much possible. Very, very much possible, right? Emotions are running high. There's a lot of emotions involved in this. You've been disappointed before. You've been told this before. You've heard this before. You've waited for this before, and nothing ever came of it. There was no forward movement. There was no this and no that. And now hearing this again, you're like, ugh, this is for everyone else. It's always for everyone else. I'm at a point where I'm like, you know what? That's fine. It could be for everyone else, but it also can be for me. Mhm. I'm just saying, it could be for you as well. It could be. Let it be for you. On a good day, I'm a child of God. On a bad day, I'm a child of God. Every day. Woo! No, I'm claiming this. I'm claiming this. I'm not claiming that. Get away from my flowers. Don't taint them. I'm claiming everything that's intended for me. Everything that will increase my peace. I'm being very specific here. And you need to be very specific about what you're Ah. I was saying you have to be very specific about what you're claiming, right? I just got a notification. I don't know who's gonna. You know what? You guys ever play this game? It's called Bullshit. There's a game. It's a card game, and it's called Bullshit. I forgot the exact goal of the game, but like it's something like you have to have the higher card, right? And then someone, if they think you're lying, you just yell out bullshit. Right? So this notification kind of just, I don't know why it reminded me of that game. Excuse me, because I feel like games are being played and I'm really not one to play games. So the notification, it says, don't leave this behind. And then it says, important details. Would you be surprised if we told you that you may have unclaimed assets waiting for you? Okay. And then the next notification that arrived 23 minutes ago, it says releasing past traumas, emotional health, and allowing the body to heal. Ah, yeah. uh, uh, I wanted to make sure you got a second chance to confirm the forgiveness options that have been made available. This is just so much bullshit for real. Yeah. I mean, I'm done. So let's carry on. Let's carry on. Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh. That's exactly how I feel. You give me the vapors. Yes, I'm feeling quite parched. Your words irk me, your voice as well. I have a disdain for you, madame. She wants to know why. Um, the disdain stems from the loss of my matched pair faceted Moldavite earrings. That's what it comes from. Yes, yes. And I'm tired of you in my space. Very much so. It sounds mean to people who don't understand the history that exists between us. To me, it's not mean. It's very factual. I'm being very honest. And if you don't want to hear my hurtful words, you really need to leave my room. I'm putting lip gloss on because I'm about to become venomous with you in ways I've never been venomous before. You're about to catch a Capricorn horn. I'm about to ram you out of my waters. Okay. So, flow in reverse. Damn, you can hold a grudge. You know it, sexy Jesus. You know it. You know it. Absolutely. So, flow in reverse. There's a blockage that's happening, right? There's a blockage that's happening. Card number 8, 8 being the number of reunification of consciousness. But here's the thing, this message has come through so many times. And here's the thing, there's a lot of implication in this reading. I'm going to give full disclosure, and it's going to be embarrassing for you, but I really don't care at this point. Sorry, was addressing Miss Marlene. There's an attempt to turn portions of this reading into twin flame drama mama stuff. And I'm good off that. You are in a space of wholeness. You are a totality within yourself. There is not a person that you need to wait for your abundance to come in, for this massive windfall to come in. And the thing is this, when I say I'm done with a subject matter, when I say I am done with an individual, I mean that from the depths of my soul and black heart. I mean it. When I am done, I am done. Being a person of tremendous patience, tremendous grace, compassion, and all of that lovely, lovely stuff. I need to focus on my journey at this point. I am done being told I need to wait for another person to be whole, to carry forward with my divine purpose. They can heal themselves. I'm not even angry. I'm just sick of the subject matter. They can heal themselves. They choose not to. They choose to not move forward. And I accept that at this point. Wholeheartedly, not from a space of anger, but from a space of, I got shit I gotta do, boo. You wanna cry and you snowflake, crystal flake, cereal flakes? You go right ahead. I ain't tripping off you. Hurt your feelings? Too bad. Too bad. I will not side skirt any subjects any further. I just won't. I won't. I will not tiptoe around my purpose. My purpose goes so far beyond any singular person, healing past their sensitivities. You know what? I'm sensitive too. I'm sensitive too, yet I keep picking myself back up and moving forward. And anyone who chooses not to do that, you could stay exactly where you are. That's perfectly fine. That's a personal choice. That is a personal choice. And I will not coddle you like your mother does. And if you want to be a reflection of me, you better start being an actual reflection of my undeniable strength, perseverance, tenacity. Anything short of that, honey, see you in a different life. See you in a different life. I'm good. I'm good. I have everything I need in this life. I don't say that vindictively. That is a factual thing. I have all the love and support that I need to continue down a very difficult path. What I don't need are distractions. What I don't need are people who cannot handle their own emotions that are caused by their own actions. The windfall is me now being able to speak openly. I will not tiptoe around feelings anymore. I won't. I won't. Now is a time for us to nurture ourselves. Notice how she hugs herself. 4 is a number of self. You are the source of all the goodness you are about to harvest. Okay. Uh, you are the source of it. You are the source of it. So, this is how I be feeling about negativity at this point. This is exactly how I be feeling about negativity. Like it's exhausting. I'm tired. I'm sick of it. I'm just gonna continue to exist in a space that is appropriate for me. And that is a space where I can acknowledge the type of growth that I've gone through, the type of very distinct learning paths and patterns that I have been allowed to experience because why? Because that very experience is the thing that helped me to accept, to first recognize, accept, and then embrace that I am a whole being and everything I need is already in my life. Everything I need is already in my life. And anything I need for the future will be brought to me in the time that I need it most. I am not afraid. Some fear of missing out. Missing out on what? I'm experiencing everything I need to experience in this life when I am ready for the experience. And the same holds true for all of you, right? It holds true for all of you. So modify. Card number 20. Modify. There you are. All of that is you. Different aspects of you. You can be more earthbound, right? Regular earth birds. You could be that magical little thing sitting on, what is that? A swan? You could be that magical little thing, or you could be an even more magical thing and be riding on a Pegasus, or you can have all your different personalities be the cherubs that are flying with you. I mean, like live life, don't wait for something, someone to come back and make things happen and yada, 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 yada. No, no, I'm ready for life to happen now. I'm ready for everything that I have set up for myself to be put into action now. It is a very beautiful space that I'm existing in. Very, very beautiful space within myself where I'm recognizing, like, you know what? There is validity in everything that I've experienced. There were profound things that were learned. I'm ready to receive. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm not fighting. I'm not waiting. I'm just like, what do I need to do next? It's not what do I need to do next to make this happen? It's I know it's happening, but until it's something that's tangible for me, what's next on the list of things to do? Like, I don't want to just sit here. I don't want to be idle. I just want to keep building and growing. And even if the next thing that I have to do in this moment is not going to be something tangible for another couple years, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine too, right? So it's definitely a space of conscious creation. It's definitely a space of recognizing that you are consistently creating things either for your immediate future or a future that's still a little bit further down, or part of your future that's years away, right? Years away. It's up to you. Don't waste this time waiting for someone. Allowing these very much, I'm going to say something that's controversial, but I promise you it's absolute truth. bastardized teachings on twin flame caca. The concept of a twin flame, the root of it is a real phenomena. Not everyone will be meeting their twin flame in this life. Not everyone needs to. And I would say about 98% of the people who believe in the concept of twin flames will not come across their twin flame in this life, much less be in union with them. Let that sink in. That teaching was force fed to all the people who are in spiritual communities. Why? To get you to hold on to something that's toxic, to keep you in a holding pattern that prevents you from entering into a space of totality. Right? I'm not going to co-sign any of that. I'm just not. Does that mean I'm against this and I'm against that and I dislike my twins and yada yada yada? No. No, it doesn't mean any of that. Whatever occurs between me and an individual that I have personally identified as a twin connection is between me and that individual. If there are conversations that are going to be had, it needs to be initiated either by me or that person, not a third party, ever, 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 ever. Right? Things are what they are, and what they are what we make them to be. That's that. That's that. Okay. You need to focus on what you can do something about and for. And what would that be? Every aspect of you and your journey. That's all you really need to work on. Every aspect of you and your journey, your perception of those aspects, and an expansion of your awareness of those aspects of you. I'm pushing forward. I'm absolutely going to continue to push forward. My doors are always open for those that I have healthy soul connections with. Now, if I have a soul connection with specific individuals that are toxic to me because they're still in a toxic space, see you in the next life. Does that mean I'm angry? No, that means at this point, I am very focused. I am hyper fixated on the achievements that need to be achieved, on the mission objective, on allowing myself to clear enough of my space to allow for a massive windfall to enter. That makes me very happy. As someone who's greatly struggled with receiving, yeah, to be able to reach a space of knowing that I'm ready to receive. I'm ready. I want it. Whatever was set aside for me, I want it at creation's earliest convenience. Whenever that may be, I 100% know beyond the shadow of any doubt that it will be when I am mature enough to be able to receive at the depth that I am intended to receive at. That's huge for me. There's only one thought that I have in my mind consistently these days. There are still a lot of people waiting to realize that I exist, not knowing that what they're looking for is me and whatever I promised to do for them on a soul level before we entered this life. There are people who need me to build the structures that need to be built, people who are starving for connection and starving in real life, people who need housing, people who need medical attention, people who are in pain and feeling alone. And, I need to receive so I can make good on those promises. I don't know what they are. I don't know who I promised. I just know there's a lot that was promised, and I'm no longer willing to wait and hold off and delay and further delay because what? Because someone's been having a selfish moment for quite a few years at this point. Stay selfish, work on you, it's fine. But I don't have that luxury, nor do I want it. I want to live the purpose I was created to live. And that's just going to be what it is. I'm ready for the windfall. I don't know where it's coming from. Honestly, I don't even care where it comes from. I'm ready to build in every single way that I'm designed to build things. Whatever I'm destined to build, I want to do it sooner rather than later. And maybe that windfall is being calibrated to the degree of desire that you have for whatever it is the windfall is for. Hmm. And maybe that's why Marlene popped up. She's been locked out of my field for quite a few months. And you guys might be like, wow, you locked her out. I did. Why did you lock her out? Because I finally needed to choose me. I just did. I needed to choose me, so I chose me. I chose my peace. I chose clarity. I chose not to be a martyr. I chose to turn into the direction I needed to go. That is not a selfish thing. It is a powerful decision that has been long awaited. And everything in my life that I have been waiting for, it has all been initiated because of that one decision. I am done. I am done being that version of myself that places everything else before my own journey. No, I'm not even angry. I'm not disappointed. I'm ready to co-create. And anyone that's not ready, willing, and able to co-create, you take your time for yourself. I'm not trying to rush you. But please don't ask me to deny where I'm at within my journey just so you don't feel alone at your pity party. You could do that all by yourself. And people might be like, damn, that's cold hearted. Well, maybe you can't function because you get too hot and you've had too much sympathy from too many people. I was cutting my son's hair earlier and I had the heater on in the bathroom. We have a huge bathroom, so it's not like, I was expecting it to overheat, right? Well, my son is very sensitive to heat. So we have vaulted ceilings, and it's just one of those things where it often feels cold in the bathroom. I had the heater on. It wasn't facing directly at us. He got too hot. Lips turned completely pale. He looked like he was going to pass out. Immediately had to stop and allow him to take a moment, sit on the stone counters, and let that cool him down. Okay. Now you're cooled down, right? Forcing him to stay in a space of heat is not going to help him. Just saying, okay, just sit down, you'll be fine. No, cannot. Cannot. I had to completely stop cutting his hair. It was halfway done. And I said, that's okay. That's okay. We're just going to put you in the shower and we're going to make sure all of that cut hair is washed off of you so you're not itchy. We got to cool you down in the shower. You're okay. And then he was fine. Did I continue to cut his hair? No. You need rest. We've taxed you too much. You need to just rest. I'm going to go ahead and do some work stuff later this evening. After I'm done with work stuff, we'll finish cutting your hair. And we'll just leave it like this. It's perfectly fine. It doesn't look bad. It's all crooked. Doesn't look bad though. We'll just leave it like that. Right? Sometimes we need to be placed on cold surfaces in cold environments to facilitate our recalibration into a space of homeostatic centeredness. When you can't regulate yourself, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. If you cannot identify your reasoning for the lack of ability to self regulate, whether it's emotions, whether it's your vital signs, whatever it is, you need to find out the root causation. And sometimes the best way to find the root, the reasoning, is to place yourself in a cold environment. It wakes up the senses and helps you to understand what process you're in and why. So I'm going to pull some cards. #1 and #2. We're only going to do 2 cards because I have to finish getting ready for class. For those who are in the Soul Sanctuary, tomorrow I unfortunately can't do our chat. I'm going to see if maybe sometime this week I could do the chat to make up for tomorrow. I'm going to be in the Morphogenetic Fundamentals workshop. So I can't do it tomorrow. So put #1 or #2 to claim whatever messages come out for these cards. Alrighty. Ooh, I myself am getting real hot. I am. All right. Oh, your Doc Martens? Is that what you mean? When you say your docs are tied enough? All right. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My hair's crazy. What is going on with my hair? All right. It is what it is. So, #1. Let's go ahead and put #1. Oh, really quick. I'm going to put this on the screen. On Sunday, I'm going to be doing the 333 portal Ascended Masters Light Ceremony. If you would like to get a reading, a scan, a whole bunch of different energy work, fire ceremony blessings, and whatever else I have available. Ooh, there's a lot of dark magic protection stuff, black magic protection stuff. Go check it out. You could either click on the QR code or the link in the comment. And also, I have the Black Magic Revocation workshop where I teach you how to negate people's attempts to do malignant things to you using dark magical practices. That it's a live workshop. It's going to be coming up in a couple weeks. So, yes, go check it out. Actually, let me get that off the screen first. Okay. Let's get started. Whew. Here goes. #1. Oh, let me go back and put #1. I thought I did. Here we go. #1. Card number 40, water element sensing. It's going to be interesting. Your intellect may be confused, but your emotions will never lie to you. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh. So this is telling me that you're trying to intellectualize some type of process that you're in. And as you intellectualize it, what's happening? You're skewing the actual gravity of the message you're receiving from soul, the instructions that you are receiving. Let matters flow. In astrology, the element of water represents our emotions and our talents of the imagination. Water characterizes the realm of vision, taking us into the quintessential depths of feeling, where intuition is more appropriate than acquired wisdom and knowledge, right? Um, I'm sorry, we have I you'd have to email Frey. I don't think we're making exceptions for anyone. Um Regarding your question for the morphogenetics workshop. I'm not sure, but I I don't know. You have to email Frey. Okay. We get carried away on water. We have feelings of floating or being adrift over water. When looking at the shimmering surfaces of water, we cannot see to the bottom. So it's almost like you've covered yourself in glitter and you're trying to present yourself as something that is more aesthetically pleasing to another person or a group of people or maybe life in general. And in doing that, people are not realizing just how deep you can go. So, when looking at the shimmering surfaces of water, we cannot see to the bottom, but we know and sense what is there. Deep things too obtuse and transitory to explain, fathoms of moods and insight. Water is the element of the signs Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. When the water element card presents itself in a spread, you can trust what you feel as the best course to follow. What you are sensing right now may not be based on any logic. It's just that what you are sensing is correct. Right now, it's best to go with the flow and, depending upon the cards surrounding it, to trust that movement, although these changes may seem gentle and gradual. So, this is not going to be a very jarring type journey. This is going to be something where you're going to be allowed to shift and flow and see a gradual change. Okay, it's not something that's designed to shock you, traumatize you, and that typically is indicative of the fact that you are completely on board with whatever soul is trying to get you to experience, to learn. So that's good. That's confirmation that you're flowing, you're doing well. Sometimes the water element card indicates a need to withdraw and fight another day. It's time to gather resources and gain strength before moving ahead. There's a potentiality that whatever it is that's happening, um, something or someone is trying to drain your attention, your energy, your resources. No, don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. Just keep going. No rushing, no forcing. Just keep going. This can at times indicate trusting too soon or the passive acceptance of other people's shortcomings when you shouldn't accept them. You may have the tendency to want to allow things to pass you by without fighting for them, to let go of something that is rightfully yours. Water is the element of compassion and understanding, but avoid being a doormat. And that's so important. Avoiding being a doormat. Avoiding being a doormat includes not volunteering to be one. For those of you who were listening earlier and you're like, oh my gosh, she's being so cold to Marlene. I'm not going to be a doormat to whatever cockamania's plans she has. Like, I will not be manipulated. I will not be a doormat. I have things I need to do that I am currently focused on and will remain focused on, right? Um, it's possible people or forces may take advantage of your benign and accepting nature. It's okay for you to naturally be that way. It is not okay for you to know that someone sees this about you and is attempting to exploit this about you, right? In my personal history, I have had quite a few people, and I want to preface this with the fact that I do not see myself as a victim in any way, shape, or form. Okay. But continuing forward, I have a very robust history of quite a few people choosing to exploit, take advantage of those aspects of me, knowing that I won't do anything. I will not retaliate. I will not say anything. I will just kind of keep on going. And you can get away with whatever you want to get away with. Not these days. I address everything head on now. I will not shy away. I will not quietly disappear into the darkness. I will not allow things that should not be allowed. Now, my response will not always be a verbal one. Me addressing things head on will not always be a full frontal type of confrontation, right? Sometimes it's just a matter of I'll ask a question to confirm something that I'm already picking up on. And then I will promptly remove you. And that's that. You don't have to explain your reasonings and needs to people who were present when they injured you. People know what they've done. They can say, "Oh, I didn't know." Yes, you did. Yes, you did. The people who deserve consideration because they really didn't know tend to be the people who the moment um the moment you show that you are uncomfortable um or that there's a history there that makes you feel like you don't want them around you, um they will gently ask you, "Did I do something? I feel like I might have made you uncomfortable somehow. Did I do something? Like, please let me know if I've done something or said something that wasn't received in the way that I intended, and I would love to apologize. I would love to give you better clarity what I actually meant, because sometimes I don't communicate in the best way, right? You don't need to explain to someone what they already know. They were there. They were there when things went down and your feelings were trampled. They were there. Okay. There was a live stream that I was doing on TikTok, and there was an individual who was willingly part of a group of people who were attempting to cyberbully me and, just nonsensical stuff. And I just carried on from it. I didn't care. I moved forward. I moved away from them. And it's been a few years. I never said anything. They were unaware that I was forwarded the screenshots for their entire conversation of where they were planning to harm me, harm my business. Yeah, no, I'm aware. I just didn't say anything. And when I was like, "Oh, that's funny. That's so weird that you would feel comfortable publicly associating with me right now. Um, Considering you were actively participating in a group chat where people were plotting to harm me, literally." Of course, they're going to deny it. Oh, no, 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 no. There was no harm. Mm. Oh, you didn't know. I have all the screenshots. I know it was quite a few years ago, but I still have them. Yeah. No, you were present. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And there was no aggressive confrontation in that. None. It was just like, that's weird. That's really odd that you would come around acting like we're long lost friends. I mean, at one point, I was open to developing a friendship with them. I was. They seemed lovely. But apparently, that's some type of coping mechanism because, yeah, they also were very lovely in their responses as the rest of their group um, were literally plotting on how they would do it, how they would be harmful to me. That's neither here nor there. Like, that's an irrelevant part of my current life. And once you're deemed irrelevant to the peace I'm now maintaining, you will not be allowed back in. I might not have retaliated before, but you try again. You're going to have a whole different experience because no longer will I allow people to just do whatever they want to me. Right? And those who chose #1, that's a very powerful message you're being given that maybe before you allowed people or a specific person to think that their behaviors were acceptable, that what they were doing was perfectly fine, despite how destructive, intentionally destructive it was towards you. You know, yeah. I think that needs to stop. If that's something that, you're feeling in your heart like, "Damn, I do that." Yeah, it doesn't make you a bad person. It just means now is the time for you to no longer allow that. Okay? So, this is a good time to imagine, write, paint, play, or create anything. Since water is the element of the imagination, it's the ability to quiet your conscious mind and allow yourself to be taken over by an idea or a dream. Water is painting, poetry, and music. This card represents being connected to the flow of all things. It is also the ability to keep a secret or to work alone in privacy. So, for those who chose #1, whatever you are building, you need to build it quietly. Whatever you are working on, whether it's just self healing, whether you're trying to manifest some type of opportunity, business wise, whatever it is, you have to do so quietly. Um, and typically, when I get that type of message, that's indicative of someone in your trusted circle being an absolute forked tongue type of snake. Yep. What's it mean to have a forked tongue? Well, half the time you tell what's right, and the other half the time you tell what's not right. Right? So, this is someone who has the capacity, the willingness um, to be hurtful and harmful. They just haven't quite positioned themselves perfectly yet. I don't know if you want to give them more time to properly position themselves because their objective is hurtful, intentionally hurtful towards you. And if you're one of those people who it's like, it's okay as long as they're okay, knock it off. Knock it off. For real. It's not okay. Knock it off. Okay? If you're going to say things like that, don't lie to yourself. It is not okay. At least be honest in your communication with yourself. If that is your mindset, it doesn't matter what happens to me, at least they'll be okay. I want you to be honest with yourself by saying, I don't love myself enough right now. I'm working on it and it's very hard. And I'm struggling to understand why I deserve love and dignity. And I just need to be honest with myself that right now, I don't love myself. See what happens when you become honest with your reasonings as to why you allow behaviors to happen. Behaviors that are intentionally directed at you. these intentional behaviors that are intentionally designed to cause as much destruction, pain, and suffering for you as possible. I allowed things to happen in the past, not because I didn't know better, but because I didn't want to know better, because knowing better would make it difficult for me to continue to allow people to be intentionally hurtful and harmful to me, a person who does not hurt or harm people. That is my truth. I had to be honest with myself at some point and tell myself the truth. I allow this because I feel like this is what I deserve. I feel like I should be punished. I feel like I don't deserve to live with dignity. And then, of course, that's a hard, very hard thing to hear from yourself. Very hard thing. And it's probably going to make you cry, because admitting that to yourself hurts a lot. And it's my hope that as you cry, your tears will cleanse your vision and you'll be able to see yourself clearly after you're done. So that you can finally see, you deserve to exist with dignity. You're absolutely lovable. No, there's nothing you did that warrants being treated poorly. We're all in a space of learning, space of growth. You cannot punish yourself indefinitely for the very process that it took for you to learn what you're learning. Once upon a time, I would have still continued to punish myself for allowing yet another cycle of people trying to cyberbully me. Then I came to that conclusion. When I came to that conclusion, it gave me the ability to choose to move forward. Not only did I choose to move forward, I also chose to pick up the part of me that I excluded from me that absolutely has a capacity to defend me. These days, I'll say it. I'll say it on every platform I'm on. I could absolutely be the fuck around and find out, girl. You want to fuck around with me? You're definitely going to find out, because I'm not going to allow shit no more. No more. This is not a game. This is not a pissing contest. This is not an ego-fueled anything. I always stay in my lane. I don't bother anybody. You come into my lane swerving, there's going to be a response. There's going to be a correction. The severity of the response or correction is highly contingent on the severity of your offense to me. And that is appropriate. That is appropriate. You have to give yourself permission. For those who chose #1, you have to give yourself permission to have the appropriate response that will help the people in your life learn how to properly treat you. You have to. You have to. There is a massive windfall that is waiting. And if you don't go through this process, I'll be blunt, you will not get that windfall. You won't. You know why? Because as it starts to come in, you're just going to keep giving it away. You're just going to keep giving it away. Yeah. I did that for quite a few years. I did that. I just kept giving everything away. Had I not done that, had I been more selective as to who I gave to and why, I could have had multiple sanctuaries built already. And these weren't even donations. It's because I work 7 days a week. My work days, especially back then, 7 days a week, were usually 16, 18-hour work days, if not 20. I rarely slept. I rarely slept. Luckily, I had insomnia, so I just kept right on going. I could have built multiple sanctuaries already. What do I have to show for that? Not a goddamn thing. A large percentage of those people that I helped are still in the same situations. They did not need help. They did not need money from me. There were a couple that, it was an acute situation. They just needed a little pick me up. And then they got back on their feet and they were good. Don't need help anymore. But a large percentage of those people still in the same situation. That's a choice. That's a choice. And I allowed my lack of self-love to be projected out onto others in the form of overgiving, volunteering to be the doormat, right? Volunteering. I thought it was a show of my evolved nature. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was not. It was absolutely indicative of my very silent loathing of myself. And why did I loathe myself? Not because I did anything bad. It's because someone saw the power in me, the potentiality. They recognized it instantly. And it made them feel inferior within themselves. And so they went out of their way to try and convince me that I deserved to be destroyed. And because I listened to quite a few different spiritual teachings, air quotes, yeah, spiritual teachings, I convinced myself that in order to be worthy of a elevated divine purpose, I needed to suffer. Sound like anything you guys have heard before? Sounds just like the teachings of the religion I was born and raised in. Is religion bad? Not necessarily. But when you allow the teachings to trap you into spaces of a belief that you deserve suffering, then that's what you will experience because that is what you choose. And whatever you choose, your soul will support because at the end of the day, you're going to learn. And when you choose suffering and your soul supports that choice and how you will learn, you will receive suffering in generous quantities until you choose to no longer accept suffering as an option. Those who chose #1, look inward. Don't worry about the drama that surrounds you. Avoid the commotion. Sit still, float, and trust your inner wisdom. It will not steer you wrong. So many of those who chose #1, you've been trying to fight the currents. You're in a little dinghy boat on the high seas as a storm is approaching. Let soul expand that dinghy into a massive, massive deep sea type boat. Okay. Open ocean type vessel. Or risk capsizing. And if you capsize, maybe it's because it's time for you to learn your own waters would never drown you. That you are as at home in the water as you are on land. And maybe in that event where your dinghy capsizes, that will give you the opportunity to choose to swim deep into the trenches of your heart's oceans, so you can begin reacquainting yourself with the truth of how powerful, unstoppable, and how full of grace you actually are. But remember, the first recipient of the lion's share of your grace should always be you. It's okay to share. It's not okay to give it all away. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. All right. Those who chose #2. Let us see. You guys got card number 33. There we go. Oh, #2. There we go. #2 is card number 33, ninth house, faith. We travel, some of us forever, to seek other states, other lives, other souls. Oh, have you guys ever heard of Anais Nin? Obstacles are being lifted. The ninth house in astrology is a house position for the sign Sagittarius and is ruled by the planet Jupiter, the planet of openness, luck, and expansion. This area of the traditional horoscope wheel is a house of travel, philosophy, high mindedness, and also religion. The ninth house represents a search for meaning through established structures. Things to do with government and religion may come about whenever the ninth house is included. Destiny, fate, and karma all come into play, as well as your view of what God may or may not be. It's the house of knowledge, higher learning, lawyers, doctors, and astrologers. It is most definitely of the higher mind and our need to unite with something greater. In this way, the ninth house represents churches and schools, especially ones that are old, established, and scholarly. Since it opposes the third house of communication and writing, the ninth house represents publishing and influences through the written word. It speaks of a forum for written ideas and concepts, also of joining a reputable literary world. So, this house is important in the charts of writers or anyone who wishes to bring their ideas into a forum, usually planet wide. It is a house of open ranges, journeying, and opportunity. So, it seems those who chose #2, you're being given free reign of your entire life, your entire journey. And it's time for you to choose whether or not you're going to step up to this invitation. Are you going to accept the invitation? Are you going to allow yourself to travel through the spaces within you that you don't yet have an intimate connection with? Because there's a lot about each of us that um, either we have avoided or we haven't gotten the opportunity to get to know yet. The ninth house also represents esoteric matters like psychic fairs, the new age, counterculture gatherings, or places where offbeat people gather together for some visionary cause. It also represents the relevance of obtaining psychic information. The Rosicrucians. Rosicrucian. I can't say the word. Rosicrucians. Rosicrucians. I can't say it. An esoteric organization based on ancient structures are symbolized by the ninth house. With this card, it is time to consider your impending plans in the broadest terms. It means you'll have to go outside of your ordinary life to achieve your goals. And if you just keep doing everything that you have done and you're not happy with where your life is right now, why do you think continuing to do the same thing is the solution? Because are you happy with your life right now? Do you feel accomplished? Do you feel satisfied, fulfilled? Do you feel like your life carries a depth of meaning and purpose? I mean, not everyone is looking for those types of experiences. So if you're not, then keep doing the same thing. I mean, if you're fine with it, that's okay. I'm being completely serious. That if you're fine with it, then okay. But if you're not fine with it, then you're gonna need to start making other options the priority. If you continue to prioritize the same options that you have been choosing for yourself, well, you're going to come up with the same outcomes. And if you want something different, you probably have to do something different. Okay. Um, the ninth house is a house of explorers and pilgrims where there is a quest and a destination. It is where we seek guidance and understanding. The possibility of returning to school and furthering your education is likely in the near future. The most mundane meaning behind the ninth house card is traveling to distant places. Usually, when this card appears, the reason is for knowledge or for broadening of understanding. There will be a desire to visit places of arcane wisdom and knowledge where you can expect the history behind the area to be very well documented. The journey will be an uncharted one of deep or mysterious exploration. Scriptures or religious books may figure in. There will be longing to connect with something greater than the individual self. Occasionally, this card indicates a temporary disconnect from close family where you depart from your known life into another one as a pilgrim or a seeker. So, this is about going balls to the wall. Balls to the wall. That might be the best way to put it. Um, the Church of Rome is represented by the ninth house card and also represents alternative religions like modern paganism, Wicca, Asatru, and so on. If your question is about love, one or the other person needs freedom. There won't be commitment anytime soon. In short, this card indicates that you are about to depart on an important journey. It may be an outward voyage or it may be an inward excursion. Either way, you will be changed through the process. This card has to do with what has been tried and tested and what is already established. No matter how expansive or broad minded, it will be rooted in the traditional. So, I think for those who chose #2, you are now entering into a space of learning more about yourself, of shifting in where you live within your mind, shifting your perception, shifting the way you function within your life, within your environment, allowing yourself to be adventurous, going as deep as you possibly can within your heart's oceans. What's there? What type of treasures? What type of treasures are there? Is it something that you're afraid to see? Why are you afraid to see what is there? Are you afraid that what you'll find will carry no value? It only carries no value if you give it no meaning. Wrap your mind around that. It only carries no value if you give it no meaning. Hmm. So, it's obvious that I'm different than most people. What's that mean? It didn't mean anything until I gave it a meaning. What do I do for work? People often don't know. People often ask me that and they don't quite know like what I do for work, right? Like people in my personal life. Um, I don't know. I mean, you do like I don't know, you do some of that spiritual stuff or something like that, right? Yeah, but what does that mean? That stuff that I do. It has no meaning until I define it, right? I do a whole bunch of different scans on TikTok live streams. And I'm evolving on all social media. I do scans on TikTok live streams, and it is a very common thing, at least 2 or 3 times during a live stream on TikTok, I'll be asked, what does that mean? Because I have a quick intro about me that people will see when they enter the live stream. That I am a morphogenetic recodement engineer, and that I teach aura spectra bioregenesis. What does that mean? What are energy scans? What does that mean? They don't know. Until I give them an understanding, it carries no weight. It has no meaning. So when I begin to explain that my energy scans, I have the ability to bilocate, which is fractionating a portion of my consciousness and projecting it towards you. And as I do that, it gives me the ability to go ahead and observe all of your luminous bodies, emotional, mental, physical, etheric, all of these different luminous bodies that you have. And when I go ahead and I scan, observe your physical body, I can observe you, scan you on the level of an MRI, CAT scan, ultrasound, X-ray. And if need be, I can scan down to a subatomic level. And now that I've defined it, typically people are like, I want one. I want a scan. That's cool. It is. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool quirk. It's a quirk. My whole life, I've identified that ability as one of the weird things I do. I just do weird stuff. That's not accurate. That is not an accurate explanation or definition. When you look at aspects of yourself and you identify it as less than what it is, when you have a deprecating way of sharing details of yourself with others, sometimes, and this is something that I'm learning, sometimes my sarcasm is far too advanced and people don't know when I'm being sarcastic. And people often can't tell that one of my coping mechanisms is to use self-deprecating methods, to use self-abnegation to kind of lessen the gravity of who I am and what I do, because I learned people didn't take very well to me being as different as I am. Who does that serve? Outside of my insecurities and the people who don't want to give me permission to exist, who does that serve? Only those things. So those who chose #2, it's time for you to exit out of those types of coping mechanisms, that existence where you are so quick to volunteer to diminish yourself. You are so quick to identify as less than what you actually are, right? Oh, I hope this person is not going to be angry with me. Michael wants me to share an example. I'm sorry in advance to the person if they're here. So Michael wants me to give an example. There's this person that I know, that I'm very fond of. I deeply appreciate. And, you know, they do that same thing where they don't quite present themselves and their skills in the true light of the gravity of those skills. And this is someone who is very proficient with energy work and very proficient with body work And it's like you'd never guess that if you just listen to them saying what they do. The reality is this: they've worked on celebrity athletes. Like they're part of pay-per-view events. Like that's a huge deal. That is a massive deal. These are athletes who have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of followers. And 333, this specific individual that Michael has asked me to share about, it's kind of just like, like it was just, yeah, yeah, I helped. Like, no, you were part of it. You were part of it. And I think for many people, we just don't feel comfortable yet accepting the gravity of who and what we are. Keep working on it. Keep working on it for those who chose #2. Keep working on it. You're getting there. Okay. It's a process. You're getting there. And what's important is you allow yourself to continue down that road. And when the day comes and you're ready to speak openly, like, yeah, no, I do this, this, and this, you'll speak openly about it. But don't stop. Don't stop. It's taken me quite a few years to even make publicly available etheric medicine sessions. Oh my gosh, I don't want to cry. The most, it was like existence shattering for me. It just shook me. It shook me quite a bit. Not in a bad way, but in a way that was very overwhelming. So, on the TikTok live streams, I make available biospiritual scans. And the whole thing is I'm supposed to just do a scan and leave it at that. But I mean, you know me. If someone's in pain, it's just impossible for me to leave you like that. If there's a resonance between my heart and yours, it's impossible for me to not offer help of some kind. And so I do. And oftentimes, when I offer help of some kind, usually I'm trying to work to make the symptoms more manageable. I usually make it a goal to try and completely eliminate their pain if possible. And so when I do that, I'm needing to use extremely high frequencies, and there's a lot of frequency overspray. And when I'm going to do that, I usually let the audience know, like, if you'd like to receive some of this energy, because there's going to be overspray, just put #overspray in the comments, and your higher self will um, do with that energy whatever needs to be done to assist you. And it's just kind of like my way of saying thank you for being patient. And recently, while I was live, um, everyone started kind of just chiming in, and it was overwhelming because they were all talking about how I didn't even work on them personally, yet their symptoms were going away. Their pain was stopping. And I know that's a byproduct of the work that I do. If you're open to allowing yourself to receive it, I don't have to work on you. You can kind of just take that energy in if there's excess energy, and it has the capacity to begin correcting some of the distortions in your coding that's leading to those symptoms. those experiences. But it was very overwhelming and humbling for people to begin very greatly validating things that I'm aware of, but have never really allowed myself to acknowledge. Right? So it's this message for those who chose #2, and really for anyone who hears this and resonates. Maybe if you can't validate yourself, if you don't have the courage to, maybe you should just allow people, even complete strangers, witnessing you be your most authentic self. And when things align, sometimes complete strangers will be the ones to give you the confirmation you're afraid to give yourself. It's hard. This self-healing journey is hard. It's very challenging, but you are worth the effort and the benefits you will receive just because you're willing to finally do what you need. There are no words. There are no words. So allow yourself to receive from yourself. Gearing up for a massive windfall, everybody. There is a massive windfall coming for each of us. It's going to be expressed in different ways. For some, it will be money. For others, it will be personal healing. Yet for others, it will be an expansion of your awareness that will take you into a completely different direction so that you could live a completely different existence. All of this is intended to be very, very good, very, very beneficial for you, but you have to allow it. You have to allow it. Because if not, then nothing will happen. It will continue the same as it always has. And you will continue to wonder, how come everything happens for everyone but you? If you wonder that, I'll tell you the answer right now. You want to know why? You want to know why everything happens seemingly for everyone else but you? Because you do for everyone else but yourself. That's why. So start doing for yourself what you do for everyone else. It doesn't mean you have to stop helping other people and loving other people. If you are a lover, if you are a giver, continue being a lover and a giver, but be discerning with who you give that to. I will forever be a lover, a giver, a nurturer, a healer, but I will not do that for just anyone these days. My heart must instruct me to do it. And when it does, I do not hesitate. I go all the way. I love deeply. That's who I am. That is how I am. And I will never change. That will always be me. But I will no longer allow who I am to be taken advantage of by the people who are brought to me to teach me about discernment, self-care, and self-love. I don't have to be angry at those people. I don't have to identify as their victim. I simply have to understand, acknowledge the lesson their presence is trying to initiate for me. And if it's something I've already learned, I don't need to do the entire lesson all over again. I simply need to recognize these are the patterns that lead to specific experiences that I don't want. Okay, shut that down. I hope you have an amazing life. Allow yourself permission to move powerfully and make powerful decisions that support your healing. You got this. Amazing things are coming for us. Prepare yourself to receive it. Make room in your life. Make space. Get rid of the old things that no longer support the ways in which you are growing. There's no point in holding on to that. But you don't have to hate it and pretend it never happened or never existed. You simply have to let it go. Guys, I gotta go. Class is gonna start in a little bit and I need to prepare. So please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. Just a quick reminder, I'll be live this Sunday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be doing an Ascended Masters light ceremony. It's a lot of very potent energies coming through this portal. A lot of different potentialities are being slated, a lot of opportunities for ascension, support, and acceleration is there. So if you'd like to see what I have offered for Sunday, please click on this QR code or the link in the comments, and I will see you guys again very soon.